Daniel and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a simple dynamic dashboard with a query language. So I'll use this for an example. I have data from ABC Limited, and as you can see, it's quite a lot of data. So imagine your manager gives you such data and gives you, let's say, deadline of tomorrow and tells you by tomorrow I need a report to show me the trend on sales and the salesmen, how they are performing. So what I'm going to show you basically will cut your work out and you'll be able to do a query or do a dynamic dashboard like in 2 to 3 hours, 1 hour, even 30 minutes, depending on your speed. Okay, enough of the chit chat. Let's dive right in. So the first thing I want to do is I want to create a new tab. So I'll name this dashboard. And then I'm going to put that there. So I'll leave some space up, or I'll just put this here. So I'll say equals query. So data, now here the query is asking you, okay, where do you want me to get the data from? So I come and select this, the whole sheet basically, comma, and then select. So here we are telling the query, when you do this, select from this particular column. So first I want to see the performance of the salesman. So select B, salesmen are in B, and then let's say we want to get the average, we want to get the sum of cartons, how much cartons have they sold. Some cartons is in column D, yes, comma, and then some, we need the sales price, which is F, I mean sales value, which is F, and comma, then we need to get our, we need to also show the averages. So I think I'll do sum D, then average D, and then we go to the sales, which is sum F, and then the average, and the average F, where B is not null because I don't want it to return anything where there is a space. So where a row is empty or a cell in a particular column is empty, for example, in the column of B where there is salesman, at any one point in time it can't be empty. If it's empty, that means there was no cell for that day. So I don't want it to return where there are blanks. So where B is not null, and nope, group by, so we want to group this by B since we are looking at the salesman. Yeah. And here is our first simple query. So I'm gonna want to do this, center, format it a little bit, number, and then okay. And the average cartons, I think I'm going to leave them to 2 decimal places. Yeah. So yeah, there's our first query. Interesting, right? So the next thing, let's say we want to look at sales month on month, and basically we want to look at the trend of sales. So you realize that here you have a date, but then you don't have a month. So what would you do in such a situation? So you come here, column H, let's call this our month column. So what we want to do, we want to convert this date into the month, so that wherever you see January 4th, January 3rd, January 5th, here it will display as January 2022. So the formula is equals date and then year. So our year will pick from this, and then month will also pick from this, and 1, basically January 1st, and we drag all the way down. So now that we have our month, we can easily aggregate the cells into the month. So I come here, let's put this other one here. So we write query. You remember every formula in spreadsheet begins with an equal sign. So equals to query and data, and then we write select. So this time around we want to aggregate data because we want to look at month-on-month cells. So select H where our month is, right here. Select H. So what else would we want to see? I think we want to get the sum of cartons, sum D, and then we also want to get the sum of the cells, that is sum F, and we also want to see which month we gave out most credit and probably why we gave out most credit. Sum G, where H is not null, group by H, close quotes, close brackets. There we go. So ladies and gentlemen, right about now we have our first sketch of what our dashboard is going to summarize and comprise of. So now in order to make this a dynamic dashboard, in order to make it interactive so that people can interact with it, you need to add some graphs so that people can easily see the trends in a snapshot. So, and also we need to add filters. For example, if they want to see month on month for a particular product, they just select and it will display. So what I want to do, and to add another sheet, which I'm going to call drop downs. And now I'm going to want to come here. I'm going to say equals to unique, so that it returns each item only once. So unique, salesman. That's once. Then I also need to create a drop down for the product. Equals unique. Yep. What else? I think that's okay for now. For now, let's use this. I could also add one for the date ranges. Equals unique, just in case we may need to use them anyway. Never know. Yep. There we go. Okay. So when I come back to my dashboard, let's say I would like to have a filter here. So I'll call this product filter, and then I do a data validation here. Just click the options, data validation, then you enter a range. So that is for the product filter. So I'll put B to B, just in case we add anything here, we don't have to go back and adjust the validation rules. So here I'll reject any input and save. Yeah, so now what this does, it creates for you a drop down menu where you can select from what product you want. But now you will notice that this hasn't yet been linked with this chart here, or rather this chart as well, because I think it could also work with this. For example, if you want to see the averages of products per salesman, so you just come here, select here, yeah. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, we are going to link this filter to this query here. So the first thing we want to do, we want to create a filter for it here. So this is product. Filter. So shall say if if that is equal to that, return return true, comma, and if this is equal to empty, return true, close brackets, close brackets. So why is it saying false? It's not supposed to be saying false. Then or else return blank. Nice. So before we go any further, we shall want to fix our filter. Otherwise, it will give us wrong analysis of the data. Yeah. So if I click delete, so it's empty. Basically, on our raw data, everything needs to be equal to true. And if I select, let's say product like bar soap, the true needs to only apply where there is bar soap, as you can see. So now our filter is coming to shape. Now, the third step, you're going to want to add a condition here. So for example, where h is not null, space, and so what we want to say, we want to add this filter here. So and I is equal to true. And I equals to true. Yeah. So every time I'm going to select here, this is going to change. Every time I select here, this will change. I select this, it will change. So we have created our first filter view, and so now users can just come and select this, and this changes. Let us see how it would look like with the little graph. I would like to make this instead of ascending, I would like to make it descending, so that we can pick, let's say, our graphs for only 4 months, so that we can save space. So group by H, let's order by H, descending. Yeah, perfect. And I'll also want to do some aligning here. Perfect. So here that means I can select my graph, and it will only be, let's say, returning data of the latest 4 months. So we are looking at cells. Insert chart. widget. I think I want a graph. Yeah. So I'm going to delete that because it's taking up space. So I'm going to delete that because it's taking up space. So here we have our monthly sales. So the other thing that I can do now, I can adjust this data down below, and I can put this here. I can put that there, and I could so as you can see, our dashboard is taking shape. If I select shampoo, if I select lotion, washing powder, or select nothing. Okay, so what else would we want to include? So we would also want to include the month that has had the highest credits, and basically yeah, we may want to add another data set that has which product has, let's say, the most credit sales. So here I just create this again. So I'll just name this monthly credit sales. I'll delete this, and you are gonna go. So I'm gonna put this right up here. So realize that this here is so far the most important. So what I want to do is I just want to bring this data all the way down until we find its rightful use. Then I'm going to drag this together with its formula all the way here. And then I want to have monthly sales right there. And I want to have credit sales. Yes, insert another row. Insert another row. Sorry about that, guys. Insert another row. Insert like 3. 2 rows, yeah. So I'm gonna want to bring this product here so that it's easy for a user to select from here, and then it will return whatever the results you want it to return. Yeah, so this is our first set. So let me see what else could we add here. So I think we could also see sales trends according to salesman. and we can see there where their lowest cells were and so on. So we are going to create another filter here. Salesman. We do a data validation. Salesman is there. So that so the whole range is covered. Reject input, save. Yeah. So we are going basically do the same process all over again that we did for the product filter. We also come here to our raw data. We add salesman filter. So here equals to if, since salesman is B, Brian equals to this, return true, else if this equals to empty, return true, else return blanks, close, close. And then we're gonna wanna fix this. Fix that and fix that. So we do our test, we check to see if the filter is working. Let's say I select Andrew. I need to see true only where Andrew is. Yep. So it's working. Then we come and add a condition here. We add a condition. So, and J equals true. Enter. So for example, this is all products, but for Andrew, and these are his cells. This is how he's doing. Carlos. And then let's say we are looking at washing powder. How are Andrew's cells in relation to washing powder or shampoo or lotion? So Andrew hasn't sold any lotion. Interesting. Just to check this, we go here, add data, apply a filter. Let's filter out lotion. And then let's try and filter out Andrew. So Andrew is not there. That means Andrew hasn't sold any lotion. Yeah. This, I think we may just want to just leave it here. Or what we can do for this, we could add, let's say, a date range, so that whenever someone randomly selects for a date range, it returns this exact data. I need to make this as neat as possible. Okay, so let's polish this up a bit and see if we can present something like this. So, we're gonna apply some color. That doesn't look right. Doesn't look right. So, how is this? I think that's better. So what we may want to do, we may try, because if this is here, so that would mean that this, we have to put it because we have the monthly sales. You know what? I'm going to put this down all the way. It doesn't make sense if it's on top. Yeah, since this is a very brief dashboard, I'll just put it there. And then, not to get these things mixed up, I'll put that there. And I'll put that there. Actually, I'll put that on top. So as you can see, presentation, you can know all the numbers and all the formulas, but without proper presentation, your work might fail you. I put that there. That still doesn't make sense. I leave that there. And then down here below, instead of this, first put that away, bring this, add it there, and then let's try and make this a little bit lively. So let's just add, let's say, graph or a bar in here to just show who has the highest cells. So when I'm going down, I'm going to add a spark line. Chart type is bar, then semicolon. We want the color. I choose green. I choose green. I choose green. Green. And then semicolon. And then this is max. And max. So I want from here to there. Close brackets. And close that. Yep, there we go. So I'm going to fix this. Crap. So I'm going to fix this because we don't want to drag, and our formula drags with the different cells down, because that is basically our range. Okay, let's see. Yeah, they're all very close, so you can see why this spark line is like that. So I'll just put the spark line here. How does that look? I'm not sure. I'm not the intended user. Still, this table feels out of place. So what I'm going to do What if I put it down here? Yeah, I think that's much more better. So I'm going to delete all this because it's useless. We don't need it. And then I think I'll want to give this a background color, just up to here. And then these, this I want to reduce, since there's nothing down this side. So guys, here is our simple dashboard. I think I just want to play around with this. Next thing, let me just put it here. Let's just leave this here. So now we are going to want to add titles. For example, title to this. Let's call that performance per salesman. Increase the font size. And this we are going to call it, let me see, as a monthly. Yeah. And then so I think the other thing that we wanted to include in this table here is basically a range where a person can select a date, select by date. So I could add here something to do with date range. Because I may need to add something to do with date range, and then yeah, so let's do that. So I'm going to put here filter for date range, start date, and I also put here end So here we shall go and do cell validation. And then this is where our date is. So just select that. I want to start from D2. Reject input, save. Because if you don't reject input, you'll find people, they have typed what they feel like typing there. So yeah. I'm going to want to leave this as that and this as that, so that when I select, okay, it doesn't work here. It only works, it doesn't work in cell validation rules. Okay, so we have our dates. Let's say we want to see from 1st Jan, from Jan 3rd to 12th Jan. And when you do this, this is basically you want this performance to change. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to put amount, sales amount, and I'm going to put credit. I think I'll add another column to the right. I'll add this here. Okay, we shall move it when we are done with the final piece. So, such that this range, I want this range here. And I want to push this up a little bit there. And I want to also push this up a little bit up, yeah. So, meaning that this will apply to changes here. So I need to add this in my filter. So what do? I come to my raw data. Perfect. I have a column free. So I'm going to name this as date filter equals if now, since we have two date ranges that we are selecting, we are going to use if and. This equals to empty, comma, this equals to empty, comma. Well, if they are both blank, I want, if that is blank, return return true. If and this equals to date, this, comma, and this And this, now since this is the end date, we shall want to say less than or equal to, less than or equal to A2. Return true, else. So before we press enter, realize that this has to be equal to A2 because we are looking at, we are trying to see between ranges. So this one will equal to A1 is greater than or equal to A2. Yeah. Return true. Okay, moment of truth. So that is blank. We need to fix that, 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 fix that. So it is returning blank for all. So meaning there is a mistake I've done in the computation. So if that falls in this range, it should give me true. And if this and this is equal to blank, it should give me true. So let's come back here. Let's leave it blank. Leave that blank, leave that blank. Okay, so the blank works. However, when we do select a period, let me just make this so that we see if the problem is with the format. So let's say select 24th and I select 14th. Yeah. So it's now working perfectly. So the next thing we are going to want to do is to join this to this basically. So where B is not null and that is K equals to true. And let me see, would we want a product filter to apply here? Yeah. And what was the product filter? Product filter is I. And I equals to true. There we go. Yeah, so now this will give you all the cells in accordance to what range you select. So April is giving me an error. Then let's see, Jan 7th has, Jan 13th has, June is showing an error. April is showing an error. So it's basically not sharing sales data for these months. So I want to come here and I see what's going on. Okay, so I've selected all the way down, so I just want to make sure formula is all the way down. Do we have 24th April? don't see a 24th April, but I should see something between that period. Okay, so let's check this again, because this one it's not displaying data. It's Jan 3rd to Jan 3rd. It will show you sales of Jan 3rd. So what I'm going to do is going to come here and select Jan 3rd. So the filter is in play here. So how about remove that, remove that. So this is the whole period basically. Then what about what happens in February 1st? February to March, the formula is not peaking. Still not peaking. How about if we remove the product filter from here, because now we are trying to investigate what could be wrong. Still not peaking. Okay. So I equals to true. So if it's not peaking, then I have to investigate and know what the problem is. So since earlier the problem was on formatting, so I just want to be sure. So I'm going to get this format and I'm going to want to apply it across. Perfect. Okay, so the date filter goes all the way. Okay. So we come back here. End date. Okay, so it is the end date which is not actually peaking. So if I put an end date of this, it won't peak. So I'm going to repeat this validation here. Data validation. Okay, looks like the validation is okay. D179. D179. So basically here it is showing anything that than July 21st. However, when I tell the system I want between July 21st and July 28th, it doesn't return any data. Alright, so let me see what to do for this. So I come back here. So the other thing is, if the AND function is not basically working, the other thing we could do is we could just break up the formula. And just add here and dead filter. So we could just break this up. So equals to if this equals to, if it equals to that, return true, else if this equals to blank, return true, else. So we're gonna wanna fix this and fix that, and then this A2 here, if it goes to that, yeah, don't need to fix that. So we have first this, but then remember, if that is the start date, so you're saying it is greater, if A2 is greater or equal to A19, return true. Then we do basically the same thing for this, but I'm gonna copy this formula because I don't want to go back and forth. So this I'll change it to, instead of A, this will be B. So A, this will be B, and this will be if A2 is less than or equal to that. This is less than or equal to that, and this is supposed to be A2 is greater or equal to that. So let's see here, and I and K is equal to true, and J this is L equals to true, and then we are gonna want to adjust our data. Let me say L1 to J. Wow, no column K. Oh crap, not J. Yeah, there we go. So it's now working perfectly fine. So guys, yeah, those are the few hurdles you find when you're trying to create a dashboard, and then you start asking yourself, what is happening? But don't panic, because it's easy. You just need to go back, rewrite your steps, see where you went wrong, and see what you need to correct. Now, for example, in this step, I asked her to change the formula because what I wanted to use wasn't going to work for this, so it was pointless for me to keep pushing for it, yet it's not going to work. So I'll leave this in white. Yeah, and let me see, I could add here, let's say, a pie chart that shows us sales versus credits. So I could have here this. I could do this too, and then insert chart. However, I don't want that. I want a pie, and it has come out wrong. So what do I need to do? I need to take the totals. Okay, it won't allow, so what I'm going to do, delete chart. I'm going to basically have here the cells, and credit status. So I'll just sum this up to just have like the sum, and then I'll also sum this up to just have like the sum of the credits. And then from here, the amount and the details. Yeah. And from here, we can have a small pie chart. So here we can have a small pie chart, which is basically this. Yep, and this is okay. I could bring this over here. Well guys, so I think we're coming to the end of our tutorial. I'll just leave these in white. Yeah, so guys, I think we are coming to the end of our tutorial. I hope we have all learnt and can make our own dashboards when it comes to preparation of data and presentation, presenting it to the different stakeholders to just basically see how the business is doing, so they can make decision driven, so they can make decisions, data driven decisions. Sorry, I'm a bit tired right now, so yeah. I'll just name these cells. I'll name these cells. Why is it not labeling? Yes, cells. I'll name this ABC Limited Sales Performance Dashboard. Oh, snapshot. And then I put this there, and then I want it in the center, and then bold, and then I want it a little bit bigger. Okay, that's too big. Okay, that. And I'll use the same theme because we don't want a lot of color to blind people. So guys, this is our dashboard, and now on Monday morning you can present this to your boss and tell him, hey, I finalized with the project and this is how Moses is faring. This is how Carlos is faring. And this is how Elliot is faring. setup. Okay, 18. So I just want to refresh and just know all my things are okay, so that when you refresh it has no problem. Yeah, perfect. So let's say select Bassoap. Perfect. Okay guys, thank you very much for this tutorial, and thank you very much for being here with me. So this is my first tutorial, so subscribe to the channel and suggest any more spreadsheet tutorials you may need to learn, or you may want to learn, or if you want me to show you something or go over something that you did not understand, please leave a comment. And yeah, have a nice one.